Hello, I'm Xiaoling and welcome back to the Overwatch Report. Two of Reddit's mods, Turikk and BoozyPelican, attended Blizzcon this year and got the opportunity to sit down with Jeff Kapplan, VP of Blizzard and Game Director of Overwatch, and ask him a few questions regarding cosmetics, the payment model, and more. I've summarized the Q&A into one video for those of you who are interested in the information and have not gotten around to reading the Reddit yourselves, or for those of you who just want a semi-quick summary. So let's get started. Pelican asked the first question: is there going to be any form of early access based on or related to the Origins edition? Jeff responded by saying that their servers were not prepared. And that they haven't even done their first stress test weekend yet. And so flooding the beta with hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, is not what they want to do right now. Turikk posted the next question asking, speaking of the stress test, I know you guys said you wanted to start them after BlizzCon. Any news about that? Jeff answered that they're hoping to get to one this year, but they don't have an exact date. At the moment, they're just gathering matchmaking data. They're trying to balance the matchmaker. They got more changes coming via patches in a week or so, and they'd probably get the stress test going after that. Turikk asks, obviously matchmaking gets much easier when you have a bigger player size. Can you guys give any information as to how many people have actually been playing so far? Jeff went on to say that they're not talking about the numbers of people that are currently playing. Apparently though, it's even less than 1%. What are the biggest things you've seen in the live environment that have been, whoa, we totally didn't think of that, or this person's way too strong? Jeff said that Bastion and Torbjorn continue to be their biggest challenges. Players new to the game had an extremely difficult time with these characters, but he found that at the highest level of play, that it was hard to be competitive with these heroes because they were so easily countered. He then went on to say that they would probably be turning down McCree because he is currently excellent at both mid and long range and should be only one or the other. And lastly, that Pharah's damage is very, very high at the moment. Speaking of McCree and Pharah, I feel that McCree is very strong, but at the same time, I can't imagine countering Pharah without McCree. McCree and Soldier 76 are the two heroes I've personally found to be consistent counters to Pharah flying around in the air being healed by a Mercy. Jeff responded that they are the best answer right now. He went on to say that some say Widowmaker, but continued that it really depended on the skill of the players playing these heroes. He added that there would also be some quality of life changes coming to Symmetra based on an in-depth post on the subreddit about her. I've linked it in the section below for those of you who want to read the full discussion. So we've got 3 new heroes. We really want to hear about Genji because he was front and center with all the other heroes of the artwork, but we're only just seeing him today. Did you guys have a lot of difficulty with him, or what took so long for him to be released? Jeff went on to say that the biggest challenge with Genji was early on. There was an expectation of him as a katana hero. They tried various tunings with him that just didn't work. Because he had such good mobility, adding the katana led to a weird balance where either he would run around killing everybody, or with tuning would take too long to kill anybody at all, and it basically just felt very unbalanced. Then they came across the idea to turn the katana into his ultimate and added shurikens as his primary fire, and it felt just right. I have a lot of friends that I know he's the character they've been waiting for, and not just look but playstyle. Especially you've got people like WoW rogues, people who come from that background, you know, the high mobility short range character, and I think that's a big get for them. Jeff responded, they'll love it. He has wall climb, that double jump, that dash, he can get anywhere, it's amazing. One of the big announcements of today is the confirmation that there are cosmetics. Are there going to be ways to acquire them other than paying real money? Jeff's response was that they don't know yet. The only cosmetics that have been announced are those origin skins and pre-purchase skin. He added that they are currently on their 3rd progression system. The first 2 didn't work. They had a leveling system but felt that it encouraged the wrong behavior, saying that people in the alpha who said, oh, we really need a Winston right now, their Widowmaker is ripping us apart. And the response would be, nah, I'm almost at my unlock, I'm not going to do it. He went on to say that they were rewarding the exact behavior that they didn't want to see. Apparently, they have some killer ideas in the new progression system, and he is hoping that it will make its way into the beta sometime before launch. If or when we do get cosmetics, is there any real limit to what level visual clarity will come into play? For example, if we give Farah a cowboy hat, will people be wondering, oh, why did McCree shoot rockets at me? Jeff responded that they need to do some testing to figure out where the line should be. He went on to say that they're just establishing Overwatch right now and wanted the majority, if not all of the cosmetics to be solid and have some relevance to the IP in general. So it's things that you would probably see this character in another time or another place. Jeff's response was, yeah, we don't have Winston in a bikini yet, but we'll see. I think over time, if this is something that people are more excited about, and we see a lot of interest and passion behind, and there's a desire for some funnier stuff, I could see that happening. For now, because it's so brand new, we just want to be like, here's what the game looks like, here's what the heroes are, and you know, what it's all about. So for releasing new heroes, do you guys have an idea of how frequent you want to release new heroes? I know the Heroes of the Storm team releases a new hero roughly every 3 weeks. Jeff said that he thinks the Heroes of the Storm team is under very different constraints and that it's a very different type of game. He went on to say that he felt 21 heroes was the right number. They wanted a hero for every role, and they feel that not only have they covered that, but they have redundancy as well. He used countering Bastion as an example. Someone might use Reaper, another Pharah, and someone else Symmetra. He said there were probably 5 to 6 counters, but that it wasn't so rock, paper, scissors that you have to have this counter for that. 21 heroes are included with the game. Does that mean additional heroes will be purchasable? Jeff said there would be no more heroes at launch, and that they had not decided whether Overwatch would have more heroes in the future. He continued that they wanted to see the health of the game and where it was at, where the fans were and what they wanted. Then he concluded that it wasn't going to launch and there were 10 heroes sitting there that people didn't own. So you don't know if you're going to go down the road of frequent hero releases? Jeff's response to this was that they do know that they're going to support the game, that the team was committed and not going to roll on to another project, and that they would absolutely be supporting the game with new features and new content. I think a lot of it seems to be the shift that's going to happen in the mentality of everyone who's been thinking about the free-to-play model, and I'm realizing that as we discuss it, it's the wrong mentality. It's more you look at it like it's a release and content will come in the future. I think that shift is slowly going to be happening in the community. Jeff responded that there are many games defined by heroes like Super Smash Bros., Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. He went on to say that he feels Overwatch is no different from those, and that he feels what they're offering is fantastic and people would be happy in the end with the model after doing the math. A lot of people still have been talking about hero lock versus hero switching. It seems to me that the hero switching mentality has been that's how it's going to work for a while. Is that the case? Jeff answered, absolutely. He basically said that the game is defined by hero switching. It makes the game feel fluid and dynamic. He gave the example of picking Widowmaker, and then the other team has an amazing Reinhardt who just keeps his shield up all the time, and you realize, I'm never going to be able to snipe anybody. If they had locked the hero system, it would just be frustrating and not very much fun at all. How would you feel if when the inevitable pro scene develops, they decide to go down the road where when they set up matches, they decide to do a pick ban system with locked heroes? Jeff responded by saying, obviously the community is going to take the game in the direction they want to see it go. Even though the beta has only been going for 2 weeks, they are already seeing an evolution of players where they're hero switching in comp matches, and that is something new and exciting and fun that's not been done in other games. He concludes that he hopes the competitive community discovers how switching heroes is incredibly important. We see all these great designs and great things that have happened. What are some of the ideas that sounded good on paper but were just awful in execution? Jeff cited Genji's Katana as one example. Bastion's ultimate was another. He said that it was a mine and there was no counter to it, you couldn't see it and it would kill everyone in a 40-meter radius. There was a design for Symmetra's ultimate. Originally, her teleporter was not an ultimate, it was an ability. Her ultimate was an umbrella that would make everything beneath it invisible, so you could basically put it over Bastion or Torbjorn, and that did not go over very well. And Genji had stealth for a while. He was completely invisible with a katana and could basically just murder people instantly. It must be hard to build these cultural references without going too far or offending people. Jeff's response was that it was a fine line. Okay, we've got some really quick fire questions. Kill feed? Jeff answered that they were discussing it. Customizable user interface? Jeff responded by saying they didn't think it would be a customizable interface like World of Warcraft, but they would like a few more options. He added that they've heard the desire for some radical options and they were open to it, but it was a very low priority for them right now. What about being able to choose the amount of information given to you? Like being able to choose whether you get killstreak notifications or not. Jeff's response was that they were open to it. When are you coming back to Reddit? We need another AMA. Jeff's response was that the team is on subreddit all day and it's basically his second monitor. I do want to reiterate that I'm almost scared to let people know just how much you guys are actually on subreddit. I remember talking at PAX with both of you and a few other people. It became clear that it felt like I was actually behind them on some of the topics. Jeff said that they love it and they love the support, and they also understand how frustrated everybody is at not getting into the beta and take that as a good sign that people are passionate and interested in their game. And that was pretty much it for the Q&A. If you guys are interested in reading it for yourselves, I've put the link in the description box below, as well as the link to the subreddit for Overwatch. If you have feedback or comments about the game that you want to be heard, head over there, make a post. The Overwatch team is monitoring the subreddit, as they say themselves. Otherwise, if you have any comments or questions for me, you can post them below. Remember, if you enjoyed the content, subscribe for updates about new videos. Check out my other videos if you are interested. I've been Xiaoling. Until next time.